Hi, I'm Jeff, pastor here at San Jacinto Assembly, and I'm really excited to be sitting next to a friend of mine, someone that I've known for a very, very long time, but more than that, someone that I've had the opportunity to do a lot of ministry with. And today we want to answer this question that people have been asking of us the last couple of weeks. Why on earth would you be going to a Sunday night service? So, Ken, that's the setup, and this is something you and I have talked about for a long time. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think? Why are we doing this?
Well, I think there's probably a number of really good reasons. But when you think about it, here may be one of the most important. There's a lot of people who work on Sunday mornings.
Absolutely.
If you count through just logistically, and I don't have the exact number,
no,
that's for sure. But if you think logistically of the number of police officers that are out there every Sunday morning, the guy or gal who works at 7-Eleven or Starbucks or is in retail. Hospitals don't shut down on Sunday morning.
Nope.
Nurses and doctors, they're on call. So, I mean, I would guess probably someplace around 20% of people actually work on Sunday morning. And the funny thing is, traditionally, we're kind of blinded to that whole spectrum of the people who live right in our backyards.
Right.
That maybe it sounds a little chilling to think about it, but the gospel is shut out to those 20% of the people who work. No matter how good our program is, no matter how great the message is, no matter how good the worship is, they simply can't come on Sunday morning.
Right.
So it makes perfect sense if we want to open up the gospel to everybody in our community, we ought to at least have one other weekend service.
Right. And that we haven't even talked about the fact that some people just, life happens.
Yeah.
And so they get called away, they got the event, they got to run over to the coast, or they got a family reunion or something, and they're not able to get back in time for a Sunday morning. But perhaps they would be inclined to come a little later in the day and join us for a Sunday evening service.
I think that's a good point, Pastor. And I think, you and I were both raised in what I would call, and I mean this in friendly sense, but it was a little bit more legalistic in terms of, and so as a result, we went to church on Sunday morning.
Right.
No matter what.
Sunday school started first.
Sunday school too.
Then the service.
Yeah. And no matter what. And I'm thankful today that spiritual leadership has encouraged people to enjoy their lives. And so if there's a wedding that's an out-of-town wedding that's going to keep you out of town on Sunday morning, or there's a very important birthday event, we encourage our folk, hey, have your life, enjoy it. But that means that once in a while on Sunday morning, there's another important family event that we say, hey, go to by all means. I would go to as well. So this creates another opportunity for those folk.
Right.
What I found when I was pastoring is that it's not so much that folk need permission anymore to go to these important events, but they almost feel like, gee, I wish there was a weekend service that I could go to because I would sure come if there was one. And so we meet that criteria as well.
Right. I think I'm also excited about the opportunity that comes when you open up another service. We have some of the greatest volunteers here at this church, and man, they man up all the time. But coming into something like this, there's a lot of unknowns for us. First of all, we don't even know who's going to come. Maybe the time slot isn't right, or maybe we don't have all these different things all set in stone. But that's not our concern. Our big concern is that we really want to have an opportunity where people can not only take advantage of staying in the flow of what's going on in church life, but also for other people, they can be more involved in active service within the church. Because many are, because of their schedules, haven't been able to volunteer because, hey, if they can't be here once every 3, 4, 5 weeks, it's really hard to find themselves into ministry. So I'm hoping that there will be other people that will step up and help fill in the gaps and the needs that we have as we become aware of them as the Sunday evening service rolls out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It gives more people an opportunity to serve in significant levels of leadership. And one thing I would say, too, the one very comforting verse of Scripture that always reminded me when I was a senior pastor is that God shows up where there's 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. 2 or 3, and I'm in the midst of them.
Right.
So I'm going to be there. I'll bet you there's going to be some other folk that are going to be there.
Right.
And that means God's going to be there too. And that means miracles will take place.
Sure.
People will come to know Jesus on Sunday night. People will get healed on Sunday night. Miracles will happen.
Right.
So, it's an exciting venue.
Yeah, where God is
time.
honored, he certainly shows up, and as some people say, he shows off. And so we're excited about that. Ken will be kind of our point person on Sunday evenings. Certainly you'll see myself and other staff in and out on that, because as we talked about today, there are some things that we get called out to as well. But Ken is taking the lead on this, and we're excited to start this and get going. And so, hey, consider that. Consider inviting someone to come along with you as well. It's always a wonderful time when we start something new to grab others to come along with you and discover something great together. And so thanks for taking a few minutes to watch us. Share it. That's key. Get it out there to as many of your Facebook friends as possible. And join us on Sunday, July 16th at 5:30. And as I've been saying, it's the same as what we do in the morning, but it's different. And so come discover what that's all about, and we'll look forward to having that time of ministry with you. God bless. Thanks for tuning in.